And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
This is a child's movie for children. Stupid children who are distracted by pictures and noises.
Brilliant.
And who already know how to work the YouTube for cat videos.
And that's why you don't have an Oscar.
God, you. This movie's and it's going to be forever.
Good evening and welcome to Is It a Bicycle? Season 10, Episode 9, the original and bestest ever TV and movie podcast. My name is Stephen Wrigley and I'll be your host for this evening. Beside me is a man who says he finds it hard enough to keep his hand interested, never mind another person. It's Mike McDonough. Also beside me all the way from Memphis, Tennessee, we've a guest reviewer this week, a man who says we're only a generation away from having grandparents called Aria and Skylar. It's Don Nero. Live from Vegas, a man who says it's really hard these days to be a single mother when you're male and have no kids. It's Shaun Leonard. This week we'll be discussing some movies in the shape of Grimsby and The Witch, and some TV in the form of Trapped, 11/22/63, and London Spy. Of course, we'll have the usuals with the news and some previews, and come to a bicycle near you. So how are we doing?
Fantastic, Steve.
Are you doing in Vegas, Shaunus?
I mean, I'm living the life. I'm loving the music. I don't have any complaints except when I do, and then I just push them deep down with all my other anger and other feelings. Just bottle that up. So pretty good.
Good.
Repression works wonders, you know.
Good.
Come here, Shaun. Did anybody else get shot in your building this week?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I have no knowledge of any of the events that you are discussing. Everything's super chill right now.
America's such a great place.
Well, when you can resolve a misunderstanding with, not knowing either. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's kind of handy to, be able to do that once in a while. Just unload on your neighbors.
A proud member of the NRA here beside me. So what else? Shaun, you on TV this week, did I hear?
I mean, there's a chance. Look, in the business, some parts, no matter how integral you believe them to be, they can get cut. I know whole couples of people who film things and then end up getting edited out. Will that happen to me? Definitely not. But sometimes it happens. For anyone who's interested, please check out the background artists in the most recent episode of CSI Cyber, Python Returns, Season 2, Episode 15. You should see my vainglorious physique, dressed in appropriately stunning brown and also slacks.
Oh, corduroy.
And I'm holding a clipboard. Yeah. It's very good. It's good stuff.
Excellent. Excellent.
How long did you practice holding the clipboard for your moment of fame?
To be honest, I dropped it when they handed it to me. So they were like, well, we were going to give you a phone as well, but now... So
you're not qualified to hold a phone,
Yeah.
So did you see last week's episode of CSI Cyber?
Did I see the most recent one?
Yeah.
No, I've got it on my DVR, man.
Oh, okay.
I like to just watch them through like Mike does with Game of Thrones.
Yeah. You're saving that one, yeah.
Just saving it up, man. Saving it up. Watch it all in one go.
Actually, I'm saving Saul Goodman at the moment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm saving up Season 2 of Better Call Saul.
Oh, Season 2 back on then?
Yeah. They're on, I think Episode 3 is aired at this stage, or maybe even 4.
Yeah, you got to save those and binge watch them, like I did with Fargo, man.
Yeah. Fargo, I believe they're talking about True Detective 3, Season 3, but it won't be till next year. And I think they're going to keep the kind of the same world, but what they want to do is let the writers write and not be under network date pressure, let's say. So there's been noises made that maybe that was the problem with the last one. Although I didn't see any problem with it, but it wasn't as well received.
So you think the networks were just like pressuring them to get a second series out and like kind of stay relevant and stuff and not leave it too long?
Yeah, could have happened.
Yeah. You know that, well, sometimes when you leave it too long between series, like the Return, that French drama, I think it was on Channel 4, kind of like thrillers, the zombies, and you're never really sure what's going on. They left it ages between the first and the second series.
Yeah, they did.
What's going on here? But I think they kind of did it in their own space and like in kind of their own time, and
it was better for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and still like kind of
Well-
having this.
Well,
There's also when you leave it for long enough that it becomes a situation where the fans start to hate you, and then you leave it slightly longer, and everyone loves it when you come back with a new series, a la X-Files.
Yeah.
It seems that people are big fans that once you look visibly older and more shattered by life, now we're ready to watch your adventures again.
yeah. Except for Scully. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think like the with the return, it wasn't as good because it's kind of like the second series was related to the first series in a way that you kind of want, like it was, continue. But like True Detective could get away with it because it's like each series is kind of independent of the other.
Yeah.
And the first one was just amazing. Some of those, like there's that one when they go into the drug house and, there's that long shot that follows them across the yard when they get out of the stash house and they have to run, and like Woody Harrelson meets them in the car and they get away. But there was just that amazing long shot where they go through houses, through people's backyards, over a fence, and
Yeah. True.
I think the quality was
I think the second season of True Detective was just a little misunderstood in that a lot of people expected it to be a follow-on from season 1, which it wasn't. If like I've always kind of said that, if it had been named something else, like Fight Town or something, it would have been very well received, or more appreciated.
I
not being
don't know.
compared. I don't think it would have been compared as much as to season 1 as it was, though. And that was
of course
the problem. Yeah,
of course it wouldn't have been compared as much, but it wouldn't have fixed like the writing problems and the fact that it wasn't acted as well.
They've all got problems, but I thought it was just as good. Especially the latter half of it was excellent.
But yeah, I think it'd be good if
we disagree on that.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it would be good though if they can focus on like kind of the writing and the quality and make it more of like kind of not make it quite so commercial and like trying to like please the fans so much as
tick all the
making a
boxes.
Great story.
Yeah.
Because the first one was
Well, I
just
suppose only time can tell.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's kind of when you have an original script, you know what I mean, rather than one that hits various stereotypes. Is that what you mean?
No, I just thought the first series was like much more. It was layered a bit better. There was more kind of depth with the characters.
Okay.
And I just thought the writing and the camera work, just like all these different aspects of it, and the production quality were great. And I thought it was like just this complete like contained, kind of like The Wire. Like The Wire is like a work of art, and it's done, and it's like it's amazing. And it's not quite on that same scale, but still it's this kind of self-contained thing that has a beginning and an end, and it's just
all right.
The acting was so strong.
It's going to be hard to follow that. Like,
Yeah. In fairness, it would be, but
What else did you see this week?
Are you looking at me, Steve?
Yes. What did you see? Did you see the Oscars?
I only really paid attention to the dresses.
And Mike,
There was a
Shaun is going to be demanding a full rundown of your thoughts on the dresses this week.
I actually went through the red carpet shit today myself. So
it's always worth a look,
Yeah, you can.
I saw a real theme this year of plunging necklines.
Some
of them plunging as far as shaven pubic regions.
Was that Charlize Theron?
Yeah, she was in there, and
she was. Yeah. She was wearing that rock, that $1 million rock.
Was it $1 million?
Like she was contracted.
Wow.
Yeah, she was contracted to wear that.
No way.
Right.
Yeah, she had the dress to kind of like
accentuate it.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
So, I think they made a very good effort, generally.
Saoirse Ronan was showing off her own belly button with her
Indeed.
line.
Indeed,
Yeah,
yeah. She wasn't the only one.
Charlotte Rampling looked, I don't know, like she had that dress for 45 years. Sophie Turner.
Yeah, Sansa Stark.
Yeah, with the leg.
Oh, yeah, Sansa, God bless her. And Olivia Wilde got in on the action, too.
She did.
Yeah.
I think who
Dainty little white number.
Yeah. We could talk about the guys. I mean, there was Pharrell. I thought he was the best dressed of the dressed of the men.
All
yeah,
right.
he had the ankles going, bleached hair. Then there was Mark Ruffalo, and he had kind of like his tux was I don't
Blue.
know, like Blue, and But
Oh,
then
yeah,
who
so it was.
Stallone actually also like broke out like kind of a blue. It was much nicer. Like it was,
Okay.
I thought that was cool. It was blue, but it was also kind of like black kind of edges and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
nice.
Difficult tailoring challenge actually for Stallone because his dimensions aren't like what you get in an off the rack suit. You know, he's definitely going to have to be tailored.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, like
Same as Eddie Redmayne,
Stallone's
though. In
never gonna
fairness,
buy an off-the-rack suit anyway.
Yeah, God bless him.
I mean, he could, like he's got
I liked
raw.
I liked so much about the company.
Yeah, I think some people won some prizes at that as well, didn't they? Yeah.
Best dressed couple, kind of.
No,
Oh no.
No, I think he means the Oscars themselves. I have a list here if you'd like me to run down through it.
Yeah. We better talk about those. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
So, Best Picture winner was Spotlight.
Well deserved.
Best Direction went to Alejandro G. Iñárritu for The Revenant. Best Actress was Brie Larson in Room. Best Supporting Actor Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies. Supporting Actress Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. The Screenplay Awards, Adapted was The Big Short. Original was Spotlight. Cinematography was The Revenant as well. And then Mad Max also just won 6 awards.
Yeah, it won everything
they
else.
did really
yeah.
It won all the shit awards.
All the technical awards.
Yeah.
Like.
Sorry.
They're not shit awards. It's film editing.
And had there been one for stuntmen,
Yeah.
they would have got one as well. Yeah, stunt people, should I say?
Why
You
are
spent
there two
so
different-
long talking about dresses, and they won for costume design, but you don't give a fuck.
How come there's 2 sound awards?
What?
Because sound mixing and sound editing are different.
Is it like one hard sound and the other soft sounder?
No. So editing, same as you would edit video clips. Editing is about putting sound with video, etc., etc. Mixing, I believe, is about layering the sounds, like finding like Foley and things, different samples, and blending those things together. I'm sure that those departments do work with each other.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, based on the names of the folk who won, none of them had so Mark Mangini and David White won for sound editing. Chris Jenkins, Greg Rudloff, and Ben Osmo won for sound mixing. They're different jobs.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'd be appalled at my absolute ignorance about what they do for a living.
I'm actually pretty appalled as well, because, you just need to edit this podcast at least once to understand, Mike.
The pain that they go through.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The attention to detail.
So we reviewed something last... Oh, sorry, go on. What were you going to say there, Shaun? Sorry, before I start off here.
Which was the best actor.
Oh, yes.
Long time coming. Leonardo DiCaprio won for The Revenant. Have you guys been following this on the internet, how people have been reacting?
That meme is dead. It's all over him.
The meme is dead. The meme is
dead.
all over. But my favorite thing is that Leo had to go back. Like, they give you a pamphlet for how to take care of your Oscar, which I didn't know, and neither did he.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's back there, and like someone's going like, so you need to like do this and this, like put water on it and take it. And he's like, you need to maintain it. That's what you're saying? And they're like, yeah. And then someone asks, do they do this every year? And he just goes, I wouldn't know. But yeah, he seemed quite happy, and Kate Winslet also seemed quite happy for him.
Do you know who got the best for cinematography? Because
I think I said that. That was The Revenant, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yes,
it was The Revenant.
I believe this is his 3rd year in a row to get an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Greedy
for
bastard.
cinematography.
Oh.
Well, a brilliant bastard, I would say. Yeah.
So what were the other 2 preceding ones?
I was hoping Shaun could tell us, but yeah.
Birdman, I would
Yes,
guess.
Well, no,
Birdman,
that's the
yes.
director. That's not cinematography.
No, cinematography as well. So he got it for
He won.
Revenant this year, Birdman last year, and God, I can't think of the last one.
So he got
Anyway,
Birdman, like best director and best cinematography.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you think of
Well,
all
the
those long shots,
cinematographer is like
you know.
different.
Oh yeah,
Like there's a different cinematographer. So like the one he
Yeah,
worked with the same
but they
one.
both won
Yeah, but
awards
they
for
both
both
won.
films.
for both
Yeah.
films. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I follow you.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. But
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I didn't follow
but
your
you
question.
said for like there was Birdman. So this is the 3rd one in a row where.
The 3rd year in a row where he got that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's.
But
So
it's
he-
only
since
the
we're talking
second year in a
about
row for the director.
What you're saying, he's going to have to hire
Okay.
somebody to maintain all his Oscars.
I don't
That's
think
it.
that's going to be a problem.
He's got plenty of pamphlets. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, we're going to talk about Oscars So White in the hashtag. Me and my lady friend made a bet about how long it would take him to use the word black or white. And I gave her the choice. She could pick any time she wanted, and I was going to take the over or the under. And she went 2 minutes, and I went under. I'll take the under on that one.
Yeah.
It was 3 seconds. It was literally 3 seconds in. But what was interesting throughout is that he would say some things like Hollywood is racist. He would say some things like, we need to give equal opportunity to black people. He didn't really mention people of any other race besides black people, but that's fine. But then he would also do a lot of things where he talked about how everyone calm down, it's fine, nobody worry about it. And when you're being paid by the Academy of Arts and Sciences, that's kind of an inherent bias, probably coloring your message of wanting to get this job again and or make sure that they don't hate you forever and tell all of their members not to employ you. I'm just saying that there's some interesting moments to look through in the thing. He also went to a movie theater in an exclusively black neighborhood not exclusively, but a black neighborhood back in, I think, Brooklyn, where he's from, and started asking people about films that were nominated for Oscars. Yeah. And nobody had heard of any of them.
Right.
And that he was, which was basically him going you haven't heard of it? It's a real movie. What are you, this is a real film. And then he was like, all right, what about Straight Outta Compton? You seen that one? And then everyone had seen that one of the people that he chose to put in his video, which kind of made the people he was interviewing look stupid. And that's not great. That's not a great thing for Chris Rock to go just be like, hey, did you see these movies? They're like, no, I didn't see them.
Yeah.
It's a real movie. Oh, all right, man. Sure.
Yeah, great.
So there were some cringy moments and there were some good moments, but altogether it was an interesting show.
Yeah. Sorry, that cinematographer's name is Emmanuel Lubezki. I took it. Lubezki. It was Gravity. He got the cinematography for the year before. Yeah.
That was that shit with that Sandra Bullock's.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I didn't even watch that, but
it's good.
It looked like the cinematography would be good.
Yeah.
With that, just from the trailer.
It's a Lost at Sea
in space.
tale.
Yeah. I just hate Sandra Bullock though.
Yeah.
Funny enough, she's kind of come up in my estimation over the last few years, I have to say. Yeah. She used to kind of annoy me around the Speed area, but now I think she's got
now that she doesn't take herself seriously anymore.
Yeah. She's her second win now. Yeah.
The one foreign movie we didn't review.
I know. The Son of Saul.
Yeah. Just didn't
the
get
one
to it
I
in time.
wanted to see. Yeah. That one. Yeah.
I'm marking that down as your fault, Steve.
Yeah.
You fucking dropped the ball there.
What's the name of the other awards that were on this week? Is it Inspire or Spire or Perspire or God damn it, what's the name of them? Spirit, that was it.
Okay.
Spirit Awards. And what do you call it, won at that as well. Revenant and Room, and actually herself, Donna, who wrote Room, she won at that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like that's really bad timing for another award.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Especially one you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
That's because it's brand new, and
this
was started.
Brand new,
no, it was started in protest over the whitewash of the Oscars.
Oh,
so this is the whole point.
Is.
It was meant to be so close. Yeah.
Right.
So the Spirit Awards.
Yeah.
I won a Spirit Award at summer camp once.
So did any black people win in awards at the Spirit Awards?
Yes.
Okay.
So
it would be terribly
one,
racist if I didn't.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the breakup was in demographic there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We had an Irish winner too, didn't we? In the short category.
I believe we had two.
Yeah.
We had the short, which is the Stutter.
Yeah.
Which is available to watch. Go and see it. It's brilliant. You'll get a link to it on our Facebook page or our Twitter. It's definitely on our Twitter. At Is It Bicycle. It's 12 minutes long. It's brilliant. I loved it. Did you see it?
I did.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. For They fit a lot into 12 minutes.
I'm going to watch it again.
For a bunch of people that stutter.
There's,
Yeah.
there's, well, it's not quite like that.
It's like,
Yeah. Stop it. Right, stop it. So
Leave it alone.
there's at one stage he's at his desk and he's on his computer, and beside him he's got his books that he reads and stuff, and one's a Flann O'Brien book there on the right hand side. And
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. What else? Oh yeah, sure. Room was Irish as well. Yeah, so that was the second Oscar.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a remarkable haul.
Well, it is and it isn't, considering how many we were nominated for. You know,
Yeah.
Irish actresses and films and so on. And yeah, so we had the largest number of nominations, but very small haul in the end, actually.
Yeah.
but still,
But
you
still.
had more than the entire
France.
black population of America.
Good point. Yeah.
You know,
That's true, yeah.
So, although it is kind of silly to speak in national terms about people who do this professionally for profound sums of money and couldn't give a rat's
I
ass about
just-
the flag, you know?
It's so funny, you know, it's such a brave performance. The courage.
You could just see her stumbling into the bank,
Yeah, I know.
tears, windswept hair, cashing her $12 million check.
So courageous. Anyway.
We're not bitter at all.
No, we'll move on before we get ridiculous. So last summer we reviewed a show by the BBC called Prey,
Okay.
which
is
is
that with an E or an A?
Prey. And so it's just been released in the US this week. I thought it might be worth mentioning that we have reviewed this before, and we did give a thriller. And this was the one about the police officer whose I think his wife is murdered, and he's blamed for it, and he goes on the run to try and prove himself innocent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that one?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, it's just started this week in the US, and we recommend it. Yeah. Go watch it. I'm still watching Limitless, by the way. Have you, Shaun?
I am indeed. I'm completely up to date.
Good. Did you like this week's episode? The kind of change of direction?
The visual style.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Sands, Agent of Mora. Yeah, it was really interesting. So first of all, Colin Salmon. Yes, I knew I'd remember his name.
Yeah.
Colin Salmon, who plays Sands, the kind of like vicious handler of Brian Finch's character in Limitless. He's an amazing actor.
He is.
He was incredible in Master of None.
Yeah.
He plays himself in that, and he's hilarious. Yeah, no, like he just plays this. So, okay, let me just briefly say, in Master of None, Colin Salmon's character is an actor who just really likes to do things. So at one point, he goes to Aziz Ansari's character, I want you to help me. I want you to help me write my movie. I think it could really be the vehicle that catapults me to, stardom, where I can like actually be the lead in my own like films, and like not just black films, but for everyone, And he's like, okay, well, what's the movie idea? Car Man. What? I play a car.
Is he
Do you mean
from
you
Boston?
can turn in? Do you mean you can turn into a car? Do you mean you can transform into a car? And he goes, "Oh, that's good. Oh, that's very good." He's just so he's amazing. Anyway,
Yeah.
So I really liked this episode. The visuals, the comic book visuals they used were pretty interesting.
They were actually. Yeah.
They continue to do that. They just put in this visual flair that other shows seem to just not really give a fuck about.
Yeah.
And then they do different stuff all the time, and I'm a big fan.
I also like the way they used the chapter thing as well. That was quite cool too. Yeah. And they had black lines like a widescreen, and then they just fade out. But you notice they're fading out, which is quite cool as well. So it's for effect. Yeah, it's quite cool. I'm up to date with Lucifer as well. I don't know if you're.
I have never watched another episode of Lucifer.
It's great, so great. Elementary, which is pretty much like Lucifer, which is pretty much like Limitless. Funny that. And the X-Files. I finished the X-Files.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've been saving them up.
Yeah, you got to do it. It's great.
Yeah.
And it's such a hook at the end. It's just like, God damn it. There's only 6. They need to make more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were hoping you'd say.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And you know the way now and again in the X-Files, the way they used to do like a sort of a throwaway episode where it'd be a bit strange but very funny.
Yeah.
Because
and it was nothing to do with the overall story arc. Yeah.
They do that as well in one of the episodes of
Okay.
these 6, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And it took me, like, I don't know, it was about 30 seconds into it, I thought, God, this is a bit strange. And then a minute into it, I was going, God, this is really weird. What the fuck's going on? And then I was like, oh, right. That's
Okay.
okay. Yeah, it's quite cool. Agent Carter, Shaun,
Oh, dude, I'm so excited.
finale
It's finishing up.
tonight.
Finishing up. Yeah. I've really liked this season. It's really great. The performances are what keep me coming back to it. It's just so endearing so often. And I'm interested to see how the sci-fi of it all plays out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, all right, yeah. They deal with dark matter-y stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, which is quite cool. So, with that, let's go to the news. Couple of sad bits of news this week. Frank Kelly died, better known as Father Jack from Father Ted.
Drink!
Yeah. So he died this week, which was awfully sad. I think he's Parkinson's since last week. And also George Kennedy died this week, who's
That's
91.
right. Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, we've known from Dirty Dozen, Airport, Cool Hand Luke, McHale's Navy, Bonanza, Dr. Kildare, Ironside, The Love Boat, Dallas, and The Naked Gun movies. He was hilarious in The Naked Gun.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a ripe old age of 91.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
good going.
Yeah. So R.I.P. to the lads. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? There's a new Amazon pilot coming.
Which one?
Jean-Claude Van Damme
Oh, yeah.
plays
Tell me more.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson. He's been a private contractor, Reed mercenary or secret agent for hire, who uses the JCVD name and career as cover for his more dangerous work. Yeah, so which explains why he made movies such as Street Fighter and Time Cop. They were smoke screens for covert operations. I
love this.
I know, it's brilliant. Remember he made JCVD a few years ago.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
movie,
I remember. I
yeah.
still haven't finished that movie,
It's
but it's amazing. And as an opening tracking shot, it's so endearing and painful.
Yeah, it's actually brilliant, and it's great that he can laugh at himself. Like he knows, like the Huff, you know. He can, he's one of those caricatures, nearly living caricature.
Yeah.
Still earning like 60 million a year, you know.
I well believe it.
Whoa!
Yeah, they're just talking about him on JRE there last
Isn't
week.
he doing Volvo ads and Coors ads? And
He's still making movies.
Yeah.
But the movie might only have a budget of 20 million, but he'll take 18 of it. You know, but but obviously he's got loads of.
Are you going to tell him no?
No, for sure. But anyway, this Jean-Claude Van Johnson, it's going to be directed by the same guy who is directing the movie Keanu, and is Key and Peele's director.
Right.
His name is Peter Atencio. So this could be worth looking out for.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Even
I'm
though I
in
haven't seen the trailer.
immediately.
I'm in. Yeah. Also, The Dark Tower is being made.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Idris Elba will play Roland Deschain, and will be accompanied by Matthew McConaughey, who's set to play Randall Flagg, the villain.
nah.
Yeah. So I don't know, will they do 8 movies or will they do 1 movie? Or there's 8 books, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's like 4,500 pages.
yeah. They're not going to give up on a franchise potential.
I guess not.
Yeah. There has to be 8 movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk more about Stephen King now in a little bit, which is the first of our TV, which is 11/22/63. Who wants to tell us about that? I guess Shaun.
Sure. James Franco plays a writing teacher who stumbles upon a portal to an earlier time. You can tell how enthusiastic I am about the show.
This was based on Stephen King's novel of the same name. Yeah. So he stumbles on the portal to
The
a
Burkle?
different time.
heard the Burkle.
McGurkle, yeah. And he is given the task to go back and see if JFK is being assassinated or by whom, and to stop it. Except he's got to live there for 3 years, but only 20 seconds passes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he goes through, they go through all the usual fun stuff, like they do in Back to the Future.
Uh huh.
Like, oh my God, everything's so cheap, and everything tastes so good because there's no GMO, and things like that. and people laughing at his goatee beard and staring at him until he gets it cut and gets a normal 50s haircut and suit
Okay,
and shit, that kind of stuff. And then they get down to it, where he has to, start creating a life for himself and an income. But luckily enough, he's got a little book of secrets. All those betting secrets.
Oh, yes.
Did they steal that, like Biff Tannen from Back to the Future? Because like Biff Tannen.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the logical thing to do if you're going back from this time.
Yeah.
You'd go, oh, Biff did it. Yeah, of course, that makes total sense. Yeah. I'll write down all that stuff, then go back again. Because every time you come back through the portal and go back in again, everything's reset.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's a Groundhog Day effect.
Exactly. The problem is he has to go through and wait 3 years until the assassination.
Okay. Yeah.
So, So that's kind of the premise.
Okay.
What did we think? Has anyone got an opinion on this?
I like James Franco well enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a pretty good actor. Sometimes, like most of his films, like, or what? I don't know much about that dude, man. I know it's like trying to work in some shit about him having a crisis of confidence and being all funny, but I don't know. He's all right, man. Like James Franco's all right.
And J.J. Abrams is producing this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So that is a bonus.
It's got some credentials.
It's got credentials, but its first problem is that James Franco has the degree that I'm hopefully going to graduate with.
That's right.
In May,
right?
He also has a published book of poetry, which is something that I'm supposed to be able to do as well. He also teaches classes in almost every creative discipline at multiple locations, and basically tells the world that he is these things. And because he's famous and has money and is very handsome, people are like, yeah, cool, please come to our university. Please, we'll give you any degree you want. And it's very, very easy and handy for him, which is somewhat infuriating for someone in my position. So when you open with James Franco as a creative writing instructor, I go, fuck off. You fucking fuck.
Jealousy will get you nowhere.
Haters are going to hate, man.
Haters going to hate, man.
Also, when he's out-acted by someone who plays one of his mature students, when he's out-acted by that guy in the first scene, partially because the lines that Franco was given are fucking shit and dumb, and what he says sounds like either he's a terrible person teacher and is really boring, or someone wrote them and didn't really care about them sounding good, maybe because they were lifted from a book where they wouldn't have come across all mealy-mouthed and stupid and shit, and for some reason, it just keeps being like that for a long time. He goes to a diner, some shit happens that's kind of boring, but we're supposed to be interested in it. There's conversations where people really obviously explain what kind of person they are and what their character relationships and abilities are. And then a really cliched version of time travel is introduced that we already knew about because we've heard about this show.
Yeah.
So, very boring. Response is
fantastic objectivity there in that review. I thought.
Yeah, I know. That was completely non-biased by personal opinion.
I wanted to like this. I really did.
Yeah,
I really wanted to like it, but I can't say I did. I can't say I can't give it thriller.
Don't be jumping the gun now, Steve.
No, primarily because
you have to do some circles now. Get on the fence, then go either side.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Yeah. No, our primary directive in Is It a Bicycle is if you're not going to watch another one, it's filler.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to watch another one of this because of the writing. I felt like I did waste my time watching this.
What did you think was bad about the writing?
It's that kind of nearly cliched but just poor writing. Like Shaun was saying, where characters explain stuff too much to you.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, did you get that? Yeah. Did I explain that okay? Do you want me to repeat that?
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah, do it again. Yeah. Or, there's this one time my dad said to me that, down by the lake, that blah, 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 just like, Jesus. that kind of stuff is just, no. No. It's not sharp enough. It's not good. It's just not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
What did you think about how they handle the time?
The time
idea.
That's fine. That's a cool idea. I mean, but they haven't explored
it's done a lot.
Yes, they've just sort of set it up. like you say, it could be jumping the gun, but we're only reviewing the pilot, or
See, I
the
like-
episode 1, and that's it. Yeah.
I like period kind of things like that. Like even like No Country for Old Men was just like a few years ago. But it's like this great like vintage kind of like 80s thing.
Yeah.
And the 60s would be good.
Yeah.
But like as Shaun said, I mean, like James Franco, I like the guy. He has a likability. It kind of comes across, but he is full of himself and cheesy, you know, and a lot of his, from what I've seen.
Does that come across in his acting?
Struggling to like remember anything he's been in. He was in Palo Alto, that Coppola lady directed. What's her name? Gia.
Sophia.
Yeah, it was Gia, like her little cousin, or Sophia's little cousin, or something. But I don't know. I think I've just seen the trailer. It looks appealing to me. It seems intriguing. It seems like the kind of thing that like I could get into. But do I have time in my life for James Franco and JFK in the 60s? No. So it has to be really good. You know, it has to be like.
Well, I sort of ran out of time on this one. And I must say, I did love the opening credits. Just the little plastic models and whatever, and the kind of rehash of what's obviously going to be the theme of the series. And the first thing that struck me as I watched, you know, the opening scenes and whatever, was that if I was ever going to study creative writing, I'd really love James Franco to be my instructor. He just seemed so competent, you know, it just came naturally to him.
He can't even control the students in his classroom. God damn it.
You know, if I had a university, I'd probably give him a degree. Actually,
And a professorship. Tenure. Yeah.
This is going to come back to fucking haunt you guys, right? Because I'm going to find poems that James Franco wrote, and I'm going to use them as reviews of shit. So enjoy that.
I once read a couple of books he recommended on some book list of advice. Like he was like on like this was a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has good taste. And
were they excellent books?
They were good books.
Oh. Did they reflect his talent, do you think?
So the books he didn't write.
They were books he didn't write. They were books he wouldn't be capable of writing.
So this is an 8-parter, huh? Yeah. So you're not going to watch
That's
anymore.
8 parts too fucking many.
Okay.
I had 2 people I respect recommend this show to me, and I had already seen the pilot, and I just went, "Are you kidding? Did you guys watch the first episode? It's really long and cliched. It's a slog. It's boring. And also, why is it such a big deal to save JFK? I mean, I get it. He's a dude that people like him.
It's so Vietnam doesn't happen. That's the theory.
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
Oh, I thought it was
guess-
so they could get Cuba in the end.
I mean, I don't, like, what's that really going to do? Like, what are you really doing? What are you actually going to do? Maybe you save him, and then there's like a big scandal about how he did kisses with a bunch of different lady people, and then he gets impeached, and everything happens the exact same way, or slightly differently, or it doesn't fucking matter. James Franco, go have fun in the past if you feel like it. Hot tub time machine that shit.
You know, I don't think the demographic that writers are aiming at would be thinking about those things, really.
What demographic are they aiming at? They're adapting a book. They're trying to make it like period and interesting,
Not
right?
very well, though, are they? I mean, it's kind of lower common denominator type TV, though, isn't it? That's why they're explaining everything to us. You know, they're not assuming that you're a smart person watching this. You know, it's visual chewing gum, really.
I don't know. I don't think that we should let it get away with that, though. Right? Like, it's shitty.
No, but yeah, it's still filler. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Can I read just very quick? We send out loud messages to ourselves that our world is dying. 1984, Blade Runner, Armageddon, The Road. I've yet to read a book or watch a film about a future I'd like to live in. Fortunately for me, I'll die before the Earth. But I'd like a place for my computer chip self to click and beep in bright, clean happiness.
Let me guess. You didn't write that, did you?
Nah, That's a James Franco fucking published poem.
I thought it was kind of poignant. It made me think a lot about myself and,
No, it wasn't.
and
Mike.
my possible
Mike.
digital future.
Mike, stop it.
Bright, clean happiness. Bright happiness. Are you trying to say that happiness is a good thing by describing it as bright? Why did you write bright, comma, and then clean happiness? What do you...
Okay, we're going to move on.
Stop. Get a paper bag, blow into it.
This is too painful for Shaun. We'll just move on. All right. So yeah, 22, 63, 11, 11, 22, 63. Yeah, it's a filler from all of us.
I was actually going to watch more of this until
but
you
didn't,
guys
so it's
fucking
filler.
ruined it.
Yeah, you didn't.
But I might do it. I might watch more just to spite
Well,
Shaun.
do and come back to us and let us know how much you hate it. Okay.
Look at how pissed off he looks. He's fuming.
That's
Don't
true.
let
Maybe you can
James
find
Franco
some
get
bright,
under your
clean
skin,
happiness in the next episode.
Okay, next up, we're going to talk about the first of our movies, which is The Witch. Shaun.
The Witch is a puritanical folk tale about a group of English settlers in America. It's a family, an incredibly pious father and mother, indeed. And then they have one oldish, maybe 14-year-old, 12-year-old daughter, and then like a 10-year-old son, and then some 6 or 7, 8-year-old, another boy and a girl, and then a little babby. And because of a disagreement with the settlement, the plantation, they're pretty much exiled, semi-exiled, and they go out and build a house, an encampment, just by themselves, right next to a forest, a scary-looking forest.
Just the
Which
kids
makes
or
you-
with the parents too?
Huh?
Is it just the kids that are exiled or the parents go too?
Oh, everybody. It's just the
Okay.
family. The family is
Okay.
exiled, basically. Because the dad basically won't stop renouncing everyone for their sin.
Okay.
And, like,
All right.
they're already Puritans, all the people in that village, apparently, like, as far as we know. So he's, like, extreme.
Right.
So they head out. And you're like, geez, I don't know, is this going to go well? Is this going to go badly? And the inciting incident is essentially the eldest daughter is playing peekaboo with the young babby. And she goes, peekaboo, peekaboo. And she goes to do it again, and the baby's gone.
Oh.
So right from get-go, you see some pretty grotesque shit, because it seems that a witch has taken the baby, cut it up, ground it into a paste, and essentially, like naked, gnarly, classic witch, has rubbed it all over herself. This is the opening of the film.
Charming.
Nice.
Do not watch it if you are faint of heart. Shona, do not watch this film. So what basically happens is, now that the family dynamic has changed, because the mother won't stop praying and she can't get to sleep. Kind of the daughter who was watching is blamed because they don't know what happened, and she doesn't know what to say. Was it a wolf that came in and took the baby? You know what? Because there's no way the baby could have made it out to the forest that quickly. They don't know what happened. But the mother and in part the father and a lot of the rest of the family are shitting on this eldest daughter for being incapable. So there's tension. And this film is a couple of different kinds of scary. It does have the foreboding and the tension where you're like, oh no, something's going to happen. Oh no, oh no. Like, the imagery is very, like, it's grey all the fucking time. You know, it's oppressive. And there's also the moments of visceral horror, grotesquerie, and just terrible things happening to people.
Oh, lovely.
That's all in it. So, first of all, it was made for about $3 million. In the first week or so that it was out, it's made 16 million.
Wow.
People are flocking to see this film. It is English cast. The only person I recognized fully and properly was the dad is actually played by the slimy buddy of David Brent from the UK version of The Office.
Oh.
Like, legitimately the guy who makes sex jokes, the sexist dude,
Yeah.
is playing this puritanical... it's all Shakespearean diction as well, basically. It's not in verse, but it's like that kind of archaic, or like 1600s language. So they completely commit to it. And there's dirty dirt
Good.
Instead
of
Glad to
clean
hear
dirt.
it.
Yeah, good stuff.
As in, like, the kids' teeth, like, are kind of fucked up, you know? Like, that kind of stuff you like, Mike, you know?
You can almost smell the dirt off them.
Well, it's that English cast, so it stands to reason there'll be some messed up teeth.
Shots fired. So I don't want to, like, go too much into discussing the various scenes in the film. What I will say is that it does a great job with the music and the performances of creating a foreboding, tense atmosphere. It's a 2-hour-long film, and it did not feel that long to me. It felt much shorter. I was surprised a little bit when it ended. The various movements in the film do build quite well, like it's an increasing tension. There are some truly, I guess, sublime moments of horror in it. There actually are moments where I go, oh fuck, and then it's worse than what I think is going to happen, or it's different than what I think is going to happen. Let's just say that there are tiny imprints of my fingernails left in my date's hand by the end of the film. Like, I'm not great at handling that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And to the gentleman behind me who seemed to feel the need to narrate, yes, what is happening on the screen is in fact what is taking place in the movie at various parts. So congratulations on that. To the person in the third row who kept going on their phone, looking through their apps and not really selecting any of them, I understand you too were very, very afraid. The only thing I'll say is that the film for me, and a lot of people were completely on board, but the film for me had a disappointing ending. Because there are moments of genius and just like inspired, like really interesting twists and moments that unfortunately for me give way to a cliched ending that for me dissipated almost all of the horror. If it had ended a couple minutes earlier, I would have liked it more. If it had ended 5 minutes earlier, I would have liked it more.
Right.
People are talking about this as a modern horror classic. Do you think that's justified?
I can see, I mean, talking about it as such, I'm sure is justified. Whether or not it actually is one isn't just for me to say.
Yeah.
But I'm not the right person to ask either. Look, I don't watch horror films. Here's why. If they're bad, then I've just watched a bad movie. If they're good, I'm afraid now. Why the fuck would I want that? I'm not one of those people who gets off on being afraid of what's going on, of my heart pounding, of being really tense throughout. I'm not, like, I would rather watch the sequel to The Purge, which I probably will watch because that was one of the trailers they showed before for this movie.
Right.
I'm not the right person to ask about this. I can only rate it as a film. I think there's some really great moments in it, and again, the performances are great. The bicycle test for the children, I don't know if it's because they're British or not, but none of them spit on themselves. At least in moments where they're not supposed to spit on themselves. If they were told to, I'm sure they'd be great at it, and maybe they do and are.
Yeah.
But really good performance from the kids. There's this. So the eldest boy has clearly got the hots for the eldest sister. And it's like there's various tensions like that that seem small, but you start to go, oh fuck, oh no. Like there's so many ways that this can go wrong, especially given this oppressive puritanical belief system. And all those things are played out, I think, to a fairly full effect.
This sounds right up Mike's street.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying to see this movie.
It's completely not what I'd be after. Date night though, Shaun? Really?
I think
it was a quadruple double date.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Honest to God, it was 2, 2, 2, 2. Everyone else liked it a lot, to varying degrees. There was laughter at some moments that were, I think, the film did not want.
Well, at least it would generate discussion by the sounds of it, anyway.
Yeah. I think I'm going to invite Shaun to come and see this with me.
Yeah. I don't think she's going to.
It comes out in Ireland sometime in March, right? In March.
Correct. 16th, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Around then, yeah. So
the only thing
I'm just going to have to bring my rubber doll to the cinema again, you know?
Okay.
When you say rubber doll,
I know.
Do you mean like a sex blow-up?
Yeah. But he won't pay for 2 seats. He just brings it in deflated and then gets to work when he gets in there.
Well, I got this battery-operated pump on it. You know, it's really, really fast. You know?
Okay, the only thing left to do is mark it before we go any further. Go on.
I think many people would give this a higher rating, but I can only speak from my own experience. I was disappointed by the film. just at the end, and it's not my cup of tea. So pinch of salt with this, but I would give it a 6 out of 10. And I know that its rating right now on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes is closer to 8 or 89%.
Question straight up: were you scared?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look,
that's
what a horror movie is meant to do. So it's achieved that. Okay.
It definitely does achieve that.
Okay,
yeah. And if I liked that more, maybe it would get a higher rating.
Okay. Okay. Next up is the second of our TV, which is Trapped. Mike, tell us about Trapped.
Trapped is an Icelandic show. Mm-hmm. It's on Icelandic, British, and Irish TV at present.
Yeah.
It is basically it's set in a small town on the northeast coast of Iceland. It's called
It sounds about right, Joe.
But it is actually a real town.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly isolated. There's about 600 or 700 people live there, and it is surrounded on all sides by mountains. There's one road in.
Big mountains.
Really big mountains.
Volcanic, yeah.
Covered in snow and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a road in, and there's a ferry that comes from Denmark once a week.
Yeah.
So the pilot episode is basically, this is a kind of a murder mystery sort of a show. Very much so along the lines of Fortitude, which was out last year.
It's quite a Nordic drama, isn't it?
Very much so,
along like The Killing and that
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
That kind of...
Indeed, one of the guys in it, I think, was also in The Killing.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
So there's a lot of crossover there.
Yeah.
So
it's one mystery, or maybe two, over the spans of the series, or the season.
Yeah, basically what happens is a body is found that has no head and no limbs.
Right.
And I suppose the story of the show is, what the fuck is this all about?
Yeah.
So in the pilot episode, they're setting up all the pieces. Mm-hmm. Number one, the weather's coming in. So that one road in and out is going to be shut off fairly soon.
Yeah.
You've got a police chief and his very small police force. There's only 3 of them in it.
So we've got our key players.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, okay.
The ferry just happened to arrive that day.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a bunch of Danish people.
Yeah.
And the captain is very, very dodgy.
Oh, subplot.
There's a subplot there.
Okay,
there's a subplot there. The cops find this body and they want to have a look around the ship. Said, no, we can't be having that now.
I have a feeling there may be future conflicts.
Possibly, Steve. There's also political and economic to-dos.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because apparently the Chinese are planning on investing in a super port for
this
place.
Sounds very familiar.
Yes, very close to Fortitude.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, quite schemic.
Yes, indeed.
There's a few kind of dangling sort of frayed ropes there that people will be clinging onto storylines and
indeed,
that kind of thing.
Indeed.
Red herrings.
I haven't seen any tales of mammoths yet, though.
No, nothing.
No. The police chief has 2 little bitch daughters who...
aren't they just?
Yeah, who seem to totally take advantage of the fact that their dad is the police chief.
I know, yeah.
Which I thought was kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
To show children as they actually are.
Yeah. They're 2 little bastards, actually.
Because normally kids in shows are all sweet.
Yeah.
What are we having for dinner, Mommy?
Vindictive little...
Yeah. It's always the ginger kids that get it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you have, there's some human traffickers, and there's
subplot.
There's an ex-wife that's got a new handsome boyfriend.
Oh.
There's some cops from the outside world that might be able to help, but they can't get in.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pieces on the board here to move around.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah. And there's 10 episodes to do it.
Is there?
Yep.
10? Wow.
10, yeah.
So, it's fairly ticked all the boxes there for a pilot. Nordic Noir.
Yep.
Even.
if you're into that kind of thing, you're just saying, oh yeah, got that,
Well, look,
got that. Yeah.
They're not going to wake up on a sunny Californian day, you know.
No.
It's going to be rain, winds, or even snow, and just bitter cold and suffering and just pulling and dragging, and you know, it's just going to be horrible. You know, you see him even going out to get into the car, and he's struggling to get in because of the wind and the snow and the it just
actually there's
so unappealing. Actually,
there was one bit in it that was probably it probably wasn't meant to be funny,
right?
But I burst my shit laughing because you see this unfit 250-pound man trying to sprint through snow.
He's a big dude, isn't he? Yeah,
he's a very big dude.
I actually laughed at the part where they told him, you know, you should, you know, the body that's found.
Yeah.
You know, can you put that in the freezer?
Yeah.
You know, in the local food processing plant. And he's like, can you not just leave it outside in this weather? You know what? Although it's nearly formulaic, right? The pilot for this, it's still interesting.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I think I'll watch more of this. I just love the environment. You know, you really get drawn into it.
Yeah.
And you really don't need a score. There is a score, which is, you know, along the lines of the killing and sort of haunting kind of background stuff. There was actually at one point I just went, geez, okay, enough.
Yeah.
But it's the wind really plays the score. You know? God, it looks miserable in the winter.
There was just one thing that kind of disappointed me. Was because as the weather comes down and the place becomes isolated, it just came into my head 30 Days of Night. I just thought, imagine if there was vampires on the ship. That'd be so fucking cool.
That'd be better. This is one of those shows that I would never watch.
Fair enough.
It's not Shaun's thing.
There's a cop who's he seems average at his job. And there's a bad guy who seems kind of like in a low-key way. It's pretty bad. You know, he should probably be in jail. Hopefully, you know, he doesn't hurt too many people. So he tries to find the bad guy.
And they're all you know, actually, it's a bit like the Orient Express scenario. In that no one can leave.
Yeah.
You know, so they're all trapped there. So you go through them one by one.
Yeah.
But wasn't the Orient Express filled with colourful characters of various different, though now stereotypical, you know, like things. Whereas this is just, there are people on a ferry and some people are cold and
just want to get home.
It just seems, is that really what maybe we could watch a show about something more fantastical or interesting or emotionally diverse or anything, just something better than this.
No, it is diverse. I mean, there's Icelandic people and Danish people.
Yeah. What are their... Okay, describe the character traits of the main character. Who's the main character? Give me some character traits.
Oh, he's the police chief.
Yeah, he's got a really big beard.
And he's really big, really big.
Yeah, and his car probably needs a service.
But he's more like the silent giant, but really behind it all, he's like Mark. He's the cuddly killer, you know.
Yeah.
He's also very, very, very smart.
He's quiet.
He's smart.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
He's smart.
He doesn't talk unless he feels it's necessary.
Yeah. I'm putting up my cards on the table. In the final episode of this, he's going to eat somebody's face.
Okay, so what you're saying is he's a very measured individual who's okay. So he methodically does his job, and he's fairly good at it.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound that interesting to me.
Yeah, but
like, I don't know. I'm just asking you guys to pitch it to me in a way where I want to watch it.
I have a feeling there's going to be a conflict between him and the guys from the big city.
Yeah,
which is
and the men with the money.
And the men with the money. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because the mayor is very, very annoyed by all this.
Oh, he's a snake. He's a snake.
And also,
Viper.
Also, he has to deal with the non-compliant ferry captain because he's Danish, and he said, "You've no authority over my." So. Yeah.
So it seemed like they were both very reserved in that conversation when he was asking him to turn on the heat. bearing in mind that was what was at stake in the conversation. Turn on the heat.
Yeah.
I'm going to go search the ship. Could you turn on the heat?
Yeah.
Nah, we don't have enough fuel. Turn on the heat. Come on.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine.
You see, the Scandics don't tend to be as emotional as the Irish in dealing with these kinds of problems, you know.
Sure, but that's not that interesting.
It wouldn't
When
be that
everyone's
appropriate
not
in
having
Scandinavia
that
to
many
headbutt
emotions.
somebody if they didn't turn on the heat.
I'm just saying, maybe some more things happening or some more character, anything would have made it more interesting to me.
But it is a pilot. You know, they've got to put all the pieces in place and then let it roll.
Some of the pieces should be that it's interesting, or that the characters
Yeah,
are
you
interesting,
see,
or that the characters are a certain.
I think Fortitude has the upper hand here, and that it had that kind of sci-fi possible element.
Yeah, there
know.
was always the hint that,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Oh, there's something supernaturally maybe.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, and this doesn't. But I don't think it's a bad program because of it.
No.
I don't know, Shaun. I just find it interesting. I find that the whole scenario, he's got a lot of things to deal with. He's a man with a full plate. And I'm interested to see how he does deal with them.
So maybe it's the pacing and the fact that he is kind of like a Joe Everyman, and you that's enjoyable in some manner.
Yeah, we fucking love Joe Everyman.
Yeah, it is slow. Nordic Noir is slow. It's not a wham bam.
Yeah, it's all about atmosphere.
But
Exactly.
what if he had a partner of a different gender who wasn't a cop,
Okay.
but had a skill set that could be applied to this investigative method?
Oh, like
For
a special
example,
power.
How about not even a superpower? What if they were just
Joan
like the
Watson.
world's strongest woman who happened to be like a female Hafthor Bjornsson, like one of those, and so like very often something heavy needs to be lifted or moved, or people need to be beaten up. So there's some action sequence to do with that.
Well,
Or she's an Olympian archer.
he does have a female partner, and they haven't.
What's her special skill? Is she on the phones a lot?
They haven't fully established what her skills are.
Yeah. We haven't seen
As
her
far
in
as we
action.
know, she's quite good at squinting.
Right. I'm just not being sold.
And checking
it's not-
passports.
That's all.
She's really good at checking passports.
That's all we've got at the moment, really. Yeah.
Fuck you and your fucking analysis shit.
So
Bullshit.
you like this then, Mike?
I fucking love this.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to keep me going till series 2 of Fortitude.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love all that snow crap.
So it fills a hole. So
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll probably watch more. Yeah. I mean, it's not going straight to the top of my list, but it's I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be one I might save till winter.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I'm going to give it Thriller because I will watch another.
Yep. Thriller for me. And fuck you, Shaun.
Yeah, no, fuck. I'm not watching the show ever. Holy shit.
Yeah, I just looked at it briefly and like I wasn't even going to watch the trailer. I just kind of looked at it. I was just like, no, that's not for me.
Were you a
Fuck
fan
this
of,
shit.
or did you watch The Killing or any of those other Nordic Noir
No,
stuff? No,
don't
not,
feel like
not
don't
interested.
feel like I
Okay.
need to.
All right. Okay.
Nothing there for me.
All right. Okay. Next up, we've got second of our movies. Mike, tell us about Grimsby.
Grimsby!
Yeah, Grimsby. Tell us about it.
This is one we reviewed the trailer a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Do you think I look like shot in stone?
The Brothers Grimsby, by the way, is what it's called over here.
Is
It
it?
might be called something
okay.
else.
All right, here. Well, this side of the pond is just Grimsby, but yeah. So, as we saw in the trailer, it's two brothers separated long time ago. One grows up to be James Bond. The other one grows up to be
Benefits cheap.
benefits cheat. And somehow they end up meeting up again, and hilarity ensues.
What's the crux of why they're thrown together?
Well, that's probably the weakest part of the movie, because it doesn't really explain how they found each other. It just kind of, oh, your brother's here, let's go and see him. And it's like, hang on, you haven't seen him for 28 years, how do you even know what he fucking looks like at this stage? But you say, oh, okay,
Well,
we'll let that slide.
according to IMDb, it says A new assignment forces a top spy to team up with his football hooligan brother.
That's not quite true.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Basically, they come together, and the hooligan kind of messes up a mission on his brother's part, and as a result, his brother has to go on the run, and of course needs help from his brother to do that. Because his brother accidentally broke his ankle while they were trying to escape.
So that's why they're thrown together. Sacha Baron Cohen
Holy
and Mark
moly!
Strong
Have you
helping each other out.
Have you seen the cast list on this?
It's a hell of a cast.
So it's Sacha Baron Cohen and his wife.
Yep,
Isla Fisher's in it. Penelope Cruz is in it.
that's right.
Penelope Cruz.
Rebel Wilson is in it. Annabelle Wallace, Mark Strong, Scott Atkins, Ian McShane.
He's in it too.
No way.
Yep.
Gaburni Sidibe.
Yeah.
David Harewood, and who else is in there? Johnny Vegas is in it.
Yep.
No way. Jeez, that's deadly. Yeah. Is it good, Mike?
Well, here's
Is
the
it worth
thing.
a look?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I went into it with high hopes because the
Yeah.
trailer was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
And I went in, and the first 20 minutes was nearly all of what you see in the trailers.
Okay.
So every funny point, I was like, oh, that was funny, but I saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
And after this happened again and again and again, I was like, oh, this is really killing this movie for me.
Yeah.
But then it moves into new territory that we haven't seen in the trailers.
Okay.
And that for me is when it really took off.
Okay.
Because after the first 20 minutes, I was like, I'm done with this.
Oh, really?
But then something happened, and another thing happened, and then it got in a roll.
Yeah.
And it's very much so Sacha Baron Cohen's thing.
Yeah.
It's rude. Consistently rude.
I've heard it's shockingly rude. Were you
Yes.
were you shocked and appalled at any stage?
There were a couple of occasions when I was
Look at you
indeed
laughing.
shocked and appalled.
Okay.
Because he takes this thing where he sets something up.
Yeah.
I said, oh no, please don't do that.
Oh, really?
And then he fucking goes there and beyond.
Oh, really?
I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I feel soiled. I wish I hadn't seen that.
Right. Okay.
And that's why he's famous.
Yeah.
He will just go to places other people won't.
Like Bruno and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the gross out king.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, totally. And I mean, there are people who like that, and there are people who are appalled by it.
Yeah.
So if you're in the latter camp, definitely don't go and see this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It is, in my opinion, far stronger than, say, The Dictator.
All right.
That was a kind of a disappointment for me. But
Yeah.
this one, what I particularly loved was Mark Strong.
Yeah.
Mark Strong he's a very good actor.
Yeah.
You remember him in The Guard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very serious guy.
Yeah.
And comes across as a capable, physical action hero type.
Comes across like a nice Vinnie Jones.
Yeah. A polite Vinnie Jones. But he plays this movie completely as if it was a serious action movie.
Yeah.
There's no hint of humor in it at all.
Right. Okay.
So they're doing the most ridiculous fucking scenes imaginable, and he's going all Bruce Willis on it.
Oh, really?
There's not a hint of humor. I don't know how the fuck he kept a straight face while trying to do it. It was just a remarkable acting performance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was so impressed.
All
with
right.
what he did.
Okay. Yeah.
Rebel Wilson is just a grotesquerie.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They've done their best to make her as unattractive as possible,
Right.
yet highly sexualized her,
All right. Okay.
which gives all kinds of strange thought patterns. There's one point where she's doing her Sharon Stone impression on crossing her legs.
Yeah.
And she just farts.
I know. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's in one of the trailers. Actually.
Is it in the
Brutal,
trailer? Yeah.
Do you think I look like Sharon Stone?
Oh, God. The bad guys are also good.
Uh-huh.
Kind of reminded me of Mission Impossible 2.
Oh.
Do you remember, what was the Scottish guy?
Doug Ray Scott.
Doug Ray Scott,
Boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the equivalent of him as the chief bad guy. And he's just a nasty piece of shit.
Right.
And he's brutally efficient in what he does. So it's good in terms of getting a threat going in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a cartoon bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, and there's also an interesting backstory. Like normally, I fucking hate backstories.
Yeah.
But every so often throughout the movie, they do a flashback to when the two brothers were boys,
Okay.
and they slowly fill in how it came to be that they were separated.
Yeah.
And the two kids that do it are great.
Really?
You know, they just look like two little scangers. You know?
Really, yeah.
And it becomes poignant, which was something I did not expect from
Really?
this movie at all.
Really?
I was like, what? Hang on. Am I feeling an emotion here? What?
Okay.
But to counter that, every single time it gets to something kind of a little bit choky,
Yeah.
they counteract it with something really offensive back in the real world.
Oh, really?
So they just,
Okay.
anytime there's a little bit of
yeah.
softness in the movie, they just crush it.
Yeah. Tell me, is there, you know the way in most of his movies where he'll go out into the general public in character and do
Okay.
something. Does he do that in this movie?
It's possible.
You know, like he did in The Dictator and he did in
Yeah.
Bruno, or I think
Yeah.
or he definitely did in Borat.
There
Well,
are,
Bruno and Borat are all him
Yeah.
just playing a character
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
other people playing
yeah.
pranks.
I would say most of this is actors.
Okay.
There might be one or two scenes where he did go out
Oh,
live,
right. Oh, he
but
did.
I,
Oh,
I,
okay.
I didn't notice.
All right. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So whether that happened or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
You'd have to
okay.
check the film notes or whatever.
Okay. So you seem to have enjoyed it overall, then.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Did
Steve.
you? Yeah, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
and you know,
Yeah.
in spite of all the rudeness and
Yeah.
whatnot, there was some really good writing in it.
Really?
You know, apart from the backstory being done well,
Yeah.
you know, the backstory, apart from the poignancy, it informs the action later in the movie.
Okay. So if this was not a Sacha Baron Cohen movie,
Uh-huh.
and say it was a Jason Statham movie,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And he had, I don't know, somebody else as his brother, you know, just a
Okay.
non-comedic. Would it
Yeah.
work then? Would the same story work, or does it have to be Sacha?
It almost could. It would
Right.
be a more emotional movie
Okay.
if Sacha wasn't in it.
Yeah.
But you could have Jason Statham playing the Mark Strong role,
Yeah.
and I don't know, Liam Neeson as his sensitive brother.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That could actually work.
Yeah. Or Liam Gallagher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, what was I going to say? Yeah, they set up little things early in the movie,
Yeah.
and you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, that's going to be important later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they leave it ages, so you actually forget about them.
All right.
And when they use them,
Yeah.
they use them in a slightly unexpected way.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, that's good. You set it up, and then you did. And,
Oh, okay.
And
So
then
it's
it's not what I thought. And I was like, oh, well done.
Kind of smart. Then.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So there was some thinking behind it. It's not just a straight insult fest or whatever.
So tip for an Oscar, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. The one thing I thought felt kind of flat was, I don't know if he's trying to make a statement about poor people.
Okay.
Because he's relentlessly parodying, you know, the social welfare class in England, in Grimsby especially. Jesus Christ, the tourists, the tourist board there won't be happy.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But there's a few scenes where he's kind of trying to get serious about the value of poor people.
Right.
Which is fine, but it doesn't really work in a comedy.
Right.
You know, if you, I don't know, had some South American dictator's wife who cared for poor people doing a singing type movie, that would probably have more effect.
There's also the fact that they shot it in southern England instead.
Oh, did they?
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's like where, like a location that doesn't,
Doesn't exist.
Wouldn't it benefit as much
Yeah.
from the presence of like a whole film crew?
Okay. Yeah.
In the local economy, if they had shot it somewhere and like the northern kind of gritty, like
So Grimsby actually got totally shat on in this.
It got totally shafted.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that was a genuine political thing on the filmmaker's part, or if it was just, I hope I don't get beaten up the next time I go to Grimsby.
Right.
We'll see.
So give us a mark.
I was very much so thinking of an 8, but if I hadn't seen the trailers, I would have given it an 8.
Yeah,
but the trailers kind of ruined the early part of it for me.
Are you going to blame the marketing of the movie, though, them on the movie?
Well, had I gone in cold, I would have been raving about this.
Okay.
But there was so many good lines that I'd seen before, it kind of hurt the first part of the movie for me.
Okay, so I should go in cold for this then.
Yeah.
I've only seen one of the trailers, so that's cool.
I'm going to stick with a 7, but it's as Mark would say, a solid 7.
A solid 7. Yeah. Okay, lovely. Okay, next up we looked at something called London Spy. It's the last of our TV. This is a miniserie. It stars Ben Whishaw, who stars as Danny, who is a lonely romantic who falls in love with an investment banker, Alex, who's played by Edward Holcroft, after a chance encounter on a bridge. Danny is open and outgoing, Alex is closed and guarded, and it turns out a genius. But opposites attract, so love and sex and kisses and stuff. And that's kind of how it starts. Yeah.
Aren't you leaving something else, Steve?
I mean, it's called London Spy.
Yes, I said that's how it starts. I said he was an investment banker. Okay, he's an investment banker, and it turns out he's not. No. Right.
Spoiler! You fucking spoiled it, man.
Jeez, Steve. You shouldn't have given it all away there.
Yeah. This is a 6 or 8
ruined the whole series.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So, so, I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious, like from line 1. But anyway, this, like I just said, it is set in London, and Ben Whishaw, it's fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good, kind of interesting character piece for Ben. Like the first thing I had seen him in was Nathan Barley. It was the character Pingu who kept getting tortured.
Okay.
And that, but I don't know. I thought Ben's well suited to the role. Like he's kind of boyish, awkward, jittery, and shown to have a few issues and be vulnerable. The sort of character who always gets sucked into the murky world of espionage and appears to be innocent at first, but turns out to be rather capable.
Yeah.
Whereas Alex is, I don't know. I thought like Ben Wishaw's character was good, well suited for him.
Solid, yeah.
Solid, yeah. I thought that was good, but the whole relationship with Alex and just the overall kind of like his for a first series, I thought it was really kind of like moody, and there's Alex's character, whatever he says, I've been serious for a very long time, and it felt like it.
Yeah,
it just felt like it was really kind of. I didn't really buy the relationship. I thought it was kind of tedious, lacked intrigue for me.
Like you didn't see why they were attracted to each other, or you didn't?
I just didn't. I mean, he's like this. I mean, the character of Danny works in like this Amazon style warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And he meets Alex. It's just, I don't know. I just found it somewhat. I don't know. I just didn't buy it. I didn't think it was really plausible.
Or like you wouldn't go out with somebody from Amazon. Is that it, or?
Well, maybe one of the drones. I don't know. I think that's kind of like. I could do with a bit of drone loving these days, probably. So I don't know. No, but just it just felt like I don't know.
He shrugged. You shrugged for our viewers who are listening. Just so you guys know.
You didn't see the spark, basically. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I thought it was just kind of fabricated. I thought the
it
whole
was
thing about
contrived. That's the word you're after.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's contrived.
I've
I've
got to argue. I've got to step in. Here's the thing. I do think it was contrived, but we're given multiple hints that there's shit going on that we're not fully aware of, that information we're not privy to. So I really liked looking at the moments and asking, is that genuine? Is this a manipulation? Like, how much does Ben Whishaw character really like this other dude? And like, and when he goes to Jim Broadbent, it seems to report back, are they also, do they have something? Like, what's their real connection?
Yeah.
And this character that Ben Whishaw plays seems to genuinely be invested in relationships. Maybe not in particular relationships. He's invested in love, maybe not in being in love with a specific person for an extended period of time and taking care of them, but he loves that feeling, that experience. And so from that perspective, yes, like he's a romantic, but how much of this is genuine? How much is he doing just to get for his own benefit or for the benefit of something else? So I really did buy it. Now, I will say that there are certain moments where I was kind of like, well, this is a bit off. And then later went, I understand. Like, for example, the investment banker says, my name is Joe, like very methodically. And I was like, that's a poor acting choice, or the editor or director should have done something to make that more real and normal. But it turns out that's not his fucking name. So then I was like, oh, I'm very glad now that I did pick up on that, like, and was able to go, okay, I get why that was like that now.
Yeah.
I think that if you buy both performances, which I did, then you do believe in this, like, investment banker who has no understanding of how to negotiate human relationships. And then you can see how he is at times easily manipulated. And then you get surprised when he is very much aware of not intrigue, but of his situation. Like, he's really smart.
Yeah.
He is not there to be taken advantage of, which is what in a lot of spy stuff we see. Like, in a lot of espionage things, it's like, oh, Bond's going to use this woman. By pushing her against a wall, she will reveal all information and then ride his balls without a condom for a while. Like, when in reality, it's probably a more complex situation.
Yeah.
Which is what I think this does a really good job of showing off. And I was invested. I didn't want anyone's heart to get broke.
Yeah, Ben Whishaw, just on that, I thought he was brilliant. I thought it was a fantastic performance. God, he's so brave. But you know, he'd make a great Hobbit, wouldn't he? He kind of does remind me of Martin Freeman in his acting methodology.
I didn't check. How big are his feet?
They're pretty hairy. I don't know what size they're. I'm with Shaun on this. I did believe them up to the point where he's chatting to the police, let's say, and then it's sort of, okay, a little bit weak.
No.
You know, I thought the writing got a little bit weak at that stage, but I kind of could let it slide because the rest was so strong. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence though.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure I liked it enough to want to watch more of it.
Right.
It's not that it's a bad show. It's just I don't know. Do I have time? Got a million other shows that I really like. So
yeah. You actually do have a
I know I have a million other shows. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like, maybe I'd build in later episodes, but just I wouldn't have the time to commit to it.
Yeah.
Now. Just
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I was kind of frustrated watching this because I
sexually, like
yeah, very
definitely.
much sexually frustrated. Because I knew London Spy. There's got to be a fucking spy in here somewhere.
Yeah. And you're going, bring out the spies for God's sake.
The spy. So I really liked the way it was shot. And actually, to go back to my ignorance of early on in the show, I really loved the sound editing. It was so quiet. I mean, it's set in the middle of London, but you can hear a pin drop in nearly every scene.
Yeah.
And, that's obviously a deliberate choice, but I thought it really added to the atmosphere of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good production quality as well. And like the interiors are beautifully framed.
Yeah.
The grey atmospheric exteriors that, it's in London, but it's not full of like the London tourist hotspots.
Yeah, you get nice
That's right.
backgrounds in the shots, but it's
Yeah.
not dominating it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
distracted by them.
Yeah.
You know it's London, but you're not distracted by, you know, the wheel or
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
And
London
Oh,
Eye.
London Eye, yeah.
and here's the thing: the scenes between what is it? Simon Ben Whishaw plays
Yeah.
Simon and Alex. The scenes between them,
Danny.
Danny, sorry.
Danny and Alex. The scenes between them are usually very early in the morning, or late at night, or in private spaces.
Yeah.
So so that is almost like that choice with the sound and locations. It just it makes their world, which is very much their own. It's those two people. It's intimate and it's unique to them, which is also, it seems to be what their relationship, at least for Alex, is becoming. Whereas then when like Ben Whishaw and Jim Broadbent show up, it's like, oh yeah, hustle bustle, London, yeah,
Yeah.
cool, lunchtime, dinner time.
Yeah.
Everybody's just going about. This is the normal world.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the world where things are things, where people, you know, aren't this unique, almost characters from books. Like they are given in the show, the two main characters, or at least the two main characters in the relationship, are given room to speak as if their lines have been written.
Yeah.
And I think that that's on purpose. And I think that does, I mean, and I completely allow it and believe it, even if it is somewhat extended vocabulary. Because in relationships, it can get like that. Like when you're trying to describe who you are or how you feel to this special person. Because that's the whole thing, right? It's, you have all your mates, the people you know, your acquaintances, your coworkers, and then this special person. And you can be any way you want with them. You can talk about anything about yourself with them.
Yeah.
Or at least that's supposedly the way it can be.
So, did you enjoy it, Shaun?
I did enjoy it, even though this isn't usually my thing. The romantic relationship is what anchored me. I'm not usually a spy guy. Like, that's not usually, especially British spy stuff. I'm just like, lads, someone's got information and you need to get it. You'll probably find it, I suppose. Someone's going to die as well, maybe. There's a gunfight. All right, well, this will be over quickly, I'm sure. So this was better than the majority of those ones, at least in terms of piquing my interest. Although I did not enjoy the first 4 minutes when I'm just like, here we go. The methodical pacing of a noir espionage mini series.
Okay.
Thriller.
Mike.
This was actually the wrong episode for me to watch.
Oh.
Because
You needed episode 2, did you?
this is highly focused on the relationship between the two guys.
Yeah.
But they set it up so it's obvious there's a much bigger world out there.
Yeah.
And I really, really want to see that much bigger world.
Yeah.
So, despite not particularly enjoying the relationship too much, I mean, it was good acting and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wasn't invested in it.
Yeah.
But I'm dying to see what happens next.
Thriller.
Thriller.
Yeah. Donnie.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to come. I think it'll develop. The writing is very good. Good characters. I mean, I just, again, for me personally, I wouldn't have the time for it.
Yeah.
I would choose something else.
Say you had the time. Would you watch more?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'm the same. So,
Well, is a would you or will you? In terms
I
of
won't.
thriller and filler.
well,
So for me, it's got to be filler
Okay.
because I wouldn't watch it again.
At least you're
But
honest.
it's a good show.
but it's a good show. Yeah.
it's a very good show. But I just
See, I would only say filler if I disliked it enough not to watch anymore. But if you would watch it, just that you don't have the personal time doesn't.
I mean, you might be
judgment,
paralyzed tomorrow and you'll have a lot of time. Like, we don't know like what's going to happen.
No, I'll give it thriller because it's a good show, but I don't think it's top of my list of good shows. So I
I
won't get
wouldn't
around
have
to it.
to put it at the top of my list, but I'm definitely recommending other people watch it, especially if what we've said has made them interested.
Do you know, actually, if they had just set it in Iceland.
God damn it. God, I will read more James Franco poetry at you son of a bitch.
And if Ben Whishaw had a special power,
Ooh.
maybe he could run really fast or something, or do the washing up really fast. Anyway, okay. Next up, we've got some previews and Come to a Bicycle near you. So the first one, guess what it's called?
What's it called, Steve?
It's not a command, it's Kill Command. Yeah, set in a new future, technology-reliant society that pits man against killing machines.
Oh my god.
Now this looks brutal, but I know you're going to love it, Mike.
So
It looks like Transformers, and the trailer sounds like Transformers.
oh.
Excuse me, you're making me laugh. Yeah.
Except you've got Marines in it.
Marines, and you've got a beautiful lady who's got some things going on in her head.
She
that
got
are behind
laser
her
eyes and shit.
Laser eyes, yeah.
And you got
Special powers.
Transformers that actually kill people.
And they think like
Instead
us.
of just hitting buildings.
And they learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they bleed.
It's going to be cliche.
If it
might
bleeds,
be
we
fun,
can kill it.
But I don't have high hopes.
Yes.
I'm so excited about this movie.
Are you?
Yeah, I can barely sit still in my seat thinking about it.
It'll be out in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen so many shit artificial intelligence movies lately, and now we got
You're
a
ready
proper
for
one.
another one.
Now we got a proper one where like they shoot stuff instead of just philosophizing about what would happen if a machine got clever.
you
No,
see
the
this?
machine's going to kick ass
No.
and take names.
Okay.
You studied philosophy, didn't you? Right. Moving on. I
the
suppose.
next one we saw is Kevin Spacey in 9 Lives. A stuffy
Holy
businessman
fuck.
finds himself trapped inside the body of his family's cat.
I'm almost as excited about this as I am about Kill Command.
Christopher Walken is also in it. I was just blown away. But anyway, and Jennifer Garner, who else is in it? Cheryl Hines and a few others. But anyway, this looks kind of funny.
No. This is
The premise is kind of if Kevin Spacey's in it.
I'm telling you right now,
Christopher
this will be
Walken.
talked about in the Bikies at the end of the year.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it's that good, really?
It's a fucking cat
No.
that talks
No. I
No.
don't
and
think
has
it's
adventures.
Stop it. How has the world gone mad?
How-
First of all, Kevin Spacey's not really going to be in it. He's going to collect a paycheck and do some voice acting for a half an hour between shooting episodes of House of Cards and the cardio he has to do because he's really fucking old. But he has to fuck people in that show all the time. 9 Lives will be exactly like many Disney movies. It will be similar to Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen. It will be similar to the one where Bruce Willis gets turned into a kid because he's a businessman who doesn't see the wonder in the world anymore. Much like Kevin Spacey plays a businessman who fucking, who cares? Why? If this was a movie about Kevin Spacey dying 9 fucking times and seeing that that's how his life is going to end one of those ways, okay, I'll watch that. Why is he a cat? No fucking reason. This is a child's movie for children. Stupid children who are distracted by pictures and noises
Brilliant.
and who already know how to work the YouTube for cat videos.
And that's why you don't have an Oscar.
Oh, fuck you. This movie's shit and it's going to be shit forever.
So the next one we looked at is actually before he said name it stars Eric Roberts and Kevin Pollak. This is Compadres. And a disgruntled Mexican cop is forced to work with a teenage hacker to hunt down the criminals who killed his wife and dismantle their operation. So this has got criminals, it's got man's laughter, it's got explosions.
Jokes about how people can't spell words.
Yeah.
Yes.
Explosions and people get covered in debris.
Kids who don't read good.
Everything in the trailer is everything that's in the movie. Like they told us, literally everything that's going to happen.
They did. I can't wait. This looks great.
Oh my god, does it though? Doesn't it look like a lot of other films that we've seen before that have been done better? Like it looks like if Bad Boys wasn't with many actions.
I know, but Eric Roberts is in it.
Yeah, probably for like a scene. They keep using him in the same outfit the entire time, and he's
Actually,
the two
that's-
people you
that's a good
named
point.
look to be in the trailer and the movie about the same amount.
You know what? That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch the trailer again.
Yeah, but outfits are expensive. You need to reuse them.
No, I don't think that's
It's
the reason.
for the
I
Green
think,
Planet.
I think the budget allowed for extra outfits if they're required.
The two main actors are not famous. They're not the two people that we mentioned either.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a bunch of jokes we've already heard before that happen to be all in a specific order. And two people who don't begin to like each other will like each other at the end.
But don't you think it's hilarious when people misunderstand Spanish?
Oh, Hector Jimenez is in this. Yeah, now that you mention it. And he was in Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
That was kind of funny.
It was, yeah.
It is going to be shit, though, isn't it?
I think it might be good shit, though. You know what I mean? You know, it's like your B movie.
So bad it's good kind of thing?
Yeah, mark it out at 2 kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, I think that's it for this week, isn't it? Have we anything else we need to bring up or mention? God, we missed Mark and Shaun so much.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. A big thank you. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, like, it must be tough on them missing out on the best crack ever.
I know, yeah. I know. Sure. Shaun is stuck in a B&B in Rosslare with a screaming child, I believe.
Yeah, and Mark is stuck on a stage somewhere with lipstick and...
Well, it's snowing outside in Donegal. Yeah. God love him, yeah. Big thanks to Don Nero for coming on and filling in this week. Good to see you, man. The dulcet tones of Don Nero.
Yeah, it's good to be here, man. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
You too, Shaun. It's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Nice having you in the studio.
Right.
Studio complex, Shaun.
Yeah, visit the Bicycle Studio Complex. Get it right.
Yeah, we're quite defensive about that.
We make it more complex than is required. So. All right, we'll leave it there. Okay, so from Shaun, Mike, Don, and Steve, stay classy.